Okay, let's let's talk some video games tonight. I'm not gonna be long. I just want to talk about a handful of things before calling it a night. Just making sure everything gets set first. So yeah, today was a big day for Xbox gamers. Hellblade 2 released. So far, I think it's so far, and it seems to be a wowing gamers, specifically visually. Visually, Hellblade 2 seems to really be really wowing gamers. And let me see if I could. Uh, yeah, I am just slightly disorganized here. Hey, what's up, Zinc? What's up, Zinc? Yeah, I'm not going to be too long tonight, man. Uh, but Hellblade 2. So far, I played probably the first hour. Um, really enjoying what they got going on with the game. Visually, it's beyond stunning. Yeah, visually, it's beyond stunning, man. And it really is does feel it's definitely a sequel to the first one. Feels very much in line with how that game played. And just just put on some finishing touches here so I could put some stuff on screen. Very in line with a sequel to the first game. So it really did feel familiar and jumping in. The controls are basically the same. The first boss fight, again, I'm only maybe the first hour in or so. The first boss fight against that prisoner, the guy who was holding you prisoner, was really fun. That was definitely a highlight of my experience. And guys, I'm a gameplay guy first. You know what I'm saying? So, so you're gonna always find me praising that before the graphics and story and stuff like that. And I really think that this is one of them games that if you like the first one, you're gonna like the sequel. You're gonna like where this how the story continues, and that's where you're in it for. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah. Let's see. I'm 250 achievements in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means, Zinc. I don't know what 250 achievements in mean. Yeah, but the visuals are wild, man. Hey, what's up, realist? Yeah, so back to it. Hellblade 2 wows gamers. Specifically the visuals are really just blowing people away. Uh, and it looks like it's another hit for Xbox. Something a bit different. The game's a bit slower. When you get into the action, the beat it really picks up and gets and if you could play it, don't play it just button mashing though. I don't for just some tips. Get used to parrying in combat. Your experience is going to be a lot better, especially against some of the bosses. You know what I'm saying? So get used to parrying, and don't just button mash. You press Y for the strong attacks. Press RB the counter and block, and hit X for the quick attacks. And it's pretty standard fare on how many of these type of games work gameplay wise. Uh, and then in between that, you do a lot of walking. For me personally, the slow walking not really my thing. That's probably the one criticism I have is that even when I hold LB to move fast, she does a light jog instead of running. But that's clear the direction that they want to go with it. The first game was like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with the first game. Again, this is more the same with the first game. Really enjoy it. Really getting something out of it. Not my favorite game. It's probably not going to hit the highs I say Starfield is, but man, I'm really blown away. statistically, graphically, uh, I'm really blown away. And then I can't wait to see where this goes. I can't wait to see how deep it goes and everything. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Spy. She is hurt in especially in the beginning. You're literally just getting crashed off a plane, and it seems like that you're a prisoner. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have no idea how many hours I had. Maybe four. Wow, geez. Yeah, I had a long day at work, so I really only got the first hour in. Tomorrow I could put in more. Well, let's be real. The weekends when I'm going to put more time into the game. But yeah, so everybody in chat, let me know your impressions of Hellblade 2 so far if you played it. Uh, there's a setting to toggle sprint, by the way, instead of holding RB. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check that out in the settings. Yeah, I literally just picked up the controller and jumped in the game when I could. So I'll explore that a bit more. Definitely, man. I'm definitely. But yeah, great. Another great game on Xbox lineup. So I'm different. And for everybody that wants third person content, there's your third person game. It's definitely a story driven game. If you wear the headphones, I'm curious if you wear the headphones and find the voices much. Again, that's how it was in the first game. But really, really, really great stuff. For me personally, I think I'm around like a eight with it so far. Like I said, these type of games, like for me, if you know me, I'm the RPG open world guy. So some bit more linear, right? It is for me personally, it's like all right, you kind of gotta speed it up for me. But that's really just the minor criticism. Because not everything's perfect, and your boy Unlimited. I don't come here and just cap for a game just because it's exclusive, and be like, oh no, every exclusive the greatest game ever. Well, I thought Starfield was, for example. Hellblade, graphically amazing. Combat when you get to it is a lot of fun. The slow walking stuff, could be hit or miss. But my goodness, I gotta say though, one thing that Hellblade 2 does and seriously, I've been waiting. I've never seen a game do this. Is how seamless the cutscenes versus the gameplay is. I mean, there are times that if you're not, I'm holding, just making sure I'm holding certain buttons on my controller, just so I don't get caught lacking to where the cutscene ends and I don't realize it, and she's just standing there or something. Like, don't you know? Oh man. But yeah, man, Hellblade 2 is off to a great start. And as always, when it comes to Xbox games, the combat really impressed me. Yes, it's simple, but it feels realistic and grounded. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For example, what I like is that there's definitely weight to Senua's combat. She's not just, she's clearly a pretty smaller woman, so her holding a sword isn't gonna be, just her floating around like it's a stick. So yeah, so you feel the weight of the sword when in combat, man. The attention to detail they put into it really is really just stunning. Hey, what's up, Tool Man and Devil Shooter? So yeah, guys. So again, chat. Let me know your thoughts on Hellblade 2 if you tried it so far. Um, yeah, man, because and when it comes to Xbox games, I don't know why. I've been telling people for ages, you know, don't stop focusing on the Metacritic and review scores, because every time an Xbox game come out, I see the same stuff. They juxtapose the review scores. The shit probably don't make sense, and it ends up not making. But it's like we've been going through this for 11 years, since 2013. I don't know why Xbox fans are surprised when the gaming media don't like an Xbox game. Like, what fucking Xbox game did they like? Even the game that they praise retroactively, like Hi-Fi Rush. Let's not forget what Hi-Fi Rush. The one review that didn't want to give it a good score because Microsoft had a bad 2022 or something stupid. You know what I'm saying? You deal with this nonsense like that. to where if you, I don't know how you aren't used to it yet. For me, when it came to seeing some, I've seen some of the reactions and how the reviewer liked it on PlayStation, didn't like it on Xbox, and was like, yeah, that's typical. That's typical. Hey, what's up, Faded Blaves? Yeah, there's no load screens and the cutscenes are in game. Yeah, man, that part really blows me away, especially since I've been playing a lot of Starfield. even even right before the upgrade, the 60 FPS upgrade, and all the cool, the maps and all the cool stuff they did with the latest upgrade. Starfield is load screen heavy, load screen heaven. So probably my game of the generation so far, 4 year end. Love it, love every second when I play it. But when you travel, since it's so big, tons of load screens. Since Senua's Saga is so story focused and much more compressed in that sense. They really the ability to just make everything so seamless is from a technical standpoint almost as impressive as the graphics. Because I can't think of many games. And again, I play a lot of open world games, and open world games notoriously, that's where you're in a cutscene, and, and all that stuff. When it transitions back with Hellblade, there are a few moments where, again, like I said, I'm holding the controller in my hand, making sure I'm keeping my thumbs busy, my fingers busy, because I don't want to get caught lacking. Because I just had no clue, when the cutscene ended and when the gameplay began. And so there's a lot that this game does well. It's going to be nice, another nice game in the Xbox library. Hopefully Satya Nadella isn't trying to force games on other platforms after these 4 games, because this would be a nice, great, especially a nice, great showpiece of what Unreal Engine 5 could do, what Gears is going to do on Unreal Engine 5 when we see that eventually, Gears 6. So yeah, just great stuff there, man. Just really just blown away by a lot of the aspects of the game. It's really a technical marvel. Hey, what's up? The fake out with the fake outrage. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's Xbox, so there's always going to be fake outrage towards Xbox. That's part of course of being an Xbox fan, right? Is that everything surrounding, like, before I quit Twitter, there's this masterful tweet I once saw that said discourse around Xbox is always so fucking stupid. And my goodness, is that true? My goodness, is that true? Truer words never been spoken, right? Because the discourse around it's and what's so funny is that it's just flat out not fun either. For it really kills. See, and this is why I stay away from social media and review scores these days. Not because, oh man, you're afraid of. I'm not afraid of people's opinion. It's just that the negativity is so pointless. It's so boring. It's so dull. It's the, like, you could copy and paste the critics. You could copy and paste, like, guys. I'm gonna get to it shortly on an article. On articles talking about how it's a mistake Xbox is putting fucking Call of Duty on Game Pass. A IP they own on a service they own. So that's what makes all this stuff so silly to me. That's why I'm at the point. I'm just like, you guys just enjoy it. Just enjoy Xbox, because and I get it. A lot of the Xbox fans, the Xbox community, they want the same level of love and respect Nintendo and Sony gets. But guys, it's been 11 years since the Xbox One generation. It's not going to happen. The closest Xbox fans you got was the 360 era. You're not getting that back. All right, you're not going to get that love and respect back from them. So and it might make some feel some type of way, but have you you know but if you just see all the not, there's here's the thing. Even with me being as disconnected as I am right now, I can still find nonsense about Xbox. It just shows that nothing will satisfy the corrupt gaming media. Yeah, pretty much, Spy. Um, well, and then here's the thing, and I remember, I remember doing this years ago, and I checked some channels, YouTube channels, and I was seeing how their most popular videos, right? Their most popular videos were the anti Xbox videos. The second most popular videos were the positive PlayStation videos. Their least popular videos were positive Xbox videos. And when you're chasing that algorithm, when you're chasing them clicks, you know what you're not going to do? You're not going to put Hellblade is a great game. You're going to put Hellblade is trash, is boring trash, walking simulator, and stuff like that. And I'm not even here saying that the game is perfect. For me, it's not going to hit the highs of Starfield just because of the type of game it is. But damn it, it's still a different fun experience. That's a technical marvel that graphically is really pushing gaming. You know, and all this other stuff, and it just sucks that the same. It sucks that it's not going to be appreciated to the extent it should be, just because it says only on Xbox. Hypocrites like Hellblade 1 and hate Hellblade 2. Yep. Yep. Yeah. It's not like it's not like the game is just so. I don't even know. Yeah, like I said, Faded Blaze. It's because it's only on Xbox. You know, bro. Mass Effect Legendary Edition is on sale for $8.99. Oh, that's good. Pick it up for $9. Yeah. So everybody in the chat, pick up the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Fantastic trilogy of games. I bought that years ago. Man. I love Mass Effect. Beat the original trilogy a long time ago, so I had to pick it up when they did the Legendary Edition. So yeah, good stuff there, Faded Blaze. Yeah, but back to this comment where Faded Blaze said like Hellblade 1 and hate Hellblade 2. Um, yeah, so this was a good one. Hopefully, y'all could see it on screen. So I believe Jessica Coswell did the review for both Hellblade 1 when it was on PlayStation and Hellblade 2, right? And and as always, the reactions are completely different. To back up what Faded Blaze here said, right? So Hellblade 1 2017, has gave it an 80, has glowing reviews for it. She cannot stress enough how important and well done the game is. And then Hellblade 2 gets a 60. And, the usual nonsense, it seems as if Hellblade is slated to be a series as well as staple of Microsoft's first party lineup. I guess they're insinuating that said, at this point, I don't exactly understand where the series is headed, if not to the box office. So yeah, this is going to be one of many examples you could find from the same reviewer, same site, whatever the case may be, right? Hey, Radiance, what's up? This one right here, this one of many examples you'll find. Same reviewer, same site, different opinion, even though that this is a sequel to a game that they claim to have loved. And it really does. And the thing about it is that I've noticed this a long time ago. A lot of these so-called gamers and journalists, they really do love a game based off what platform it's associated with, and stuff like this kind of exposes that, right? Where they'll love the same game. It could be a similar game, the same game, or in this case, a sequel to a game. In one way, they love it on one brand and don't on the other, and it's so baffling. Because it's not like Hellblade 2 isn't an improvement, or it's not like it's pushing the story forward and all that stuff. Hell, the first game was fucking short. I've seen that criticism too, but it's like I know y'all have. Did y'all play the first game? Because that game was fucking short too. roughly the same length, about 10 hours. To be honest, console wars is killing the industry. Got so many frauds that are farming engagement numbers but don't play games. Yeah, man, that's a huge issue there, Faded Blaze. That's a huge issue. And it's and it's not like they could just like what they like and just keep it there. They gotta tear down it. Like they focus more on tearing down Xbox than liking PlayStation. You know, and that's where the issues come in, right? Because you could like what you like. Nobody really gives a shit if you like PlayStation more than Xbox or vice versa. But this whole tearing down, you got to tear down the other side and the enemy and all that shit. That's how you end up with the backlash that you see towards towards them and towards Sony and PlayStation, all that shit. Because like me personally, I just enjoy my games and keep it moving. I have a PS5. I admit I don't play it. I don't enjoy it, but I don't fucking hyper focus on this damn thing. I don't be looking at that motherfucker every day like, oh, you piece of shit. If there weren't a handful of games that I enjoyed, I'll sell the motherfucker. All right, so it's video games. It ain't that damn serious. These games should be cherished and respected and loved as they are. And if you don't like it, speak your opinion and keep it moving. See, uh, this looks at that. You know, but yeah, man. So again, let me know what you guys think on Hellblade 2. Are you enjoying it? Do you find it boring? Do you love it? Do you hate it? You think the graphics look good? I'd like to hear your views. I'd like to hear your views on it, man. Yeah, but moving on, 'cause like I said, not gonna be super long. Uh, yeah, this article was hilarious. Isn't the Sony business meeting tomorrow? Yep, yeah, I believe so. And I guess we'll see what they announce tomorrow. There, Faded Blaze. Yeah, but moving on. It's like I said, not gonna be super long tonight. Yeah, this article was a doozy. Xbox is making a huge mistake putting Call of Duty on Game Pass. This is beautiful. How's this a mistake? Yeah, Zinc. Yeah, Zinc. Exactly. How would you rank it, Zinc? Is it up there for you? Is it in the middle of like other Xbox games? Games like say Starfield or Gears or anything like that. Radiant says social media engagement monetization has ruined gaming. Yeah, the need to be the loudest, the need to be the first, even if you're incorrect. Just so many issues has come from the modern way gaming media, gaming journalists, gaming discourse works. But yeah, but back to this article about Xbox making a mistake putting Call of Duty on Game Pass. This is just hilarious, man. Uh, Adding Call of Duty to Xbox Game Pass could harm Microsoft financially due to potential revenue drop. Oh boy, the financial experts. I just wrote credits on Hellblade 2 is a masterpiece. Then, y'all chat. Shout out to Deploy. He beat the game already. Now, I work. I had a long day at work, so I only played the first hour. So I ain't gonna beat it till this weekend. I already know because the rest of the week. I'll play an hour tomorrow, an hour Thursday, and then by Friday, Saturday, I actually have time to play the game. But shout out to Deploy. He beat it, rolled credits, and this is a masterpiece to the man. I respect that. I respect that a lot. Hellblade 2 isn't Starfield nor Gears. Yeah, very good right now. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel, Zink. I have my share of fair criticisms. Again, no game's perfect. Even the games I love, Starfield has a lot of loading screens, and you deal with it. But if the game's good, I could work with everything around it. And for me, the gameplay. I could put up with the aspects that I might not like, the slow walking and the cutscenes and shit like that. And again, I don't think the game's perfect, but I mean, I'm getting some enjoyment out of it. and and then once I beat it, maybe I'll feel the way D Play does, a masterpiece. Maybe I won't, but it's still at the end of the day, graphically great, technically great, does some really good stuff with the combat. I have a feeling that the deeper I get into it, the more I'll enjoy especially the combat aspect. That's my favorite part is the gameplay. So yeah, Faded said, I'm waiting for them to announce day one PC releases tomorrow after Ghost of Tsushima success on PC. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I've been saying for 4 years now, Faded Blaze, I don't think this generation ends without games day one on PlayStation. Let me rephrase that. I don't think this generation ends with PlayStation games day one on PC. It's like $1 trillion Microsoft don't have financial analysts. Yeah, that's what I find. Um, that's what I find so funny, Radiance. That's what I find so funny. Hopefully, that's what I find so funny, man. So yeah, I'm about to get to this article. Just catching up on some comments here. Silva. Silva, did you no. Silva128, thank you for joining. Hey man, who's here? Who's that in your avatar? I'm not familiar with that character. He said, I just appreciate that Ninja Theory continue the story. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think, for those of you who beat it already, y'all think there's gonna be a Hellblade 3? You still need to get off that damn planet. I haven't forgot. Oh damn, Zinc. Spy's calling you out, man. All right, but back to the article here. Xbox is making a huge mistake putting Call of Duty on Game Pass. And again, as always, the financial experts worry about Microsoft money, the $3 trillion company, one of the biggest companies on the planet. They're the ones that you worry about. It's so funny, man. Yeah, Devil Shooter, man. You got to get over the games going to PC being irrelevant, man. This is it's business. They got to find extra ways to make money. It is what it is, man. If you want to do the PC thing, homie, do you? Do you? Ain't nobody mad at that. A subscription model might not be best for players who primarily enjoy COD's campaign, resulted in losses and the potential increase in Xbox Game Pass price post Call of Duty edition could deter subscribers. All right, so it seems like their fake concern is going to be price increase. Might happen, might not. Who cares? Uh, the financial aspects, because yeah, Microsoft, that's the one that we worry about financially, and it might not be right for players who enjoy COD's campaign. I mean, everybody's playing Hellblade too, and that don't have a long campaign. And Call of Duty campaigns are always shorter than games like that. Also, let me see if I could find something. I'm trying to see if I could find. Okay, back in so report says most players finish less than half a Call of Duty campaign. So yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So I mean, it seems like I don't know. I don't know I, what I'm trying to say here. I wanted to pull that up real quick because I don't think that I don't think that many people beat the damn Call of Duty campaigns like that. Hell, if I remember correctly, there's a large percent of the Call of Duty players who literally never touched the campaign and just jump straight into the multiplayer. But still, let's get to the article. Call of Duty expected to come to Xbox Game Pass, but this choice might not be the best for Xbox. It's not guaranteed that subscriptions to Game Pass will increase, and this move could end up hurting Xbox financially at a time when console exclusives are already struggling with sales. Additionally, studio closures and layoffs are being seen throughout the gaming industry, meaning that this could be a dangerous time to make that kind of financial move. All right, couple things here. One, it's not guaranteed that subscription Game Pass will increase. Uh, they do, or they are aware that if a game's on Game Pass, you could still buy the game, right? Games still have physical releases. You can even buy it physically. So I don't think the game on Game Pass is going to do that much, because if you want to buy if you're playing on if you're going to play Call of Duty on PlayStation still when it goes to Game Pass, you're going to drop $70 on it. I know this because it's the best selling game every year on that damn platform, right? So people are either going to say, hey, I'm going to drop my 15 $16 a month, however much it is now, play it, and boom, you're in the service. Or I'm gonna drop my $70 and my annual $70 on this game and play it. I think it's gonna be a win-win for gamers. You know what I'm saying? Hell, this might help out for those who don't have the money to buy it every year. Or maybe maybe Call of Duty is usually that one game they buy, but now they could play it on Game Pass and put money towards another game. You might never know. There are a lot of variables that I think are more of a benefit for Call of Duty going to Game Pass. And Zink said, "I'm getting some gears right before the night is over." That's what's up. The multiplayer is popular. Made Call of Duty. Yeah, of course, definitely. Game Pass includes a collection of games that subscribers have unlimited access to, as long as those games are part of the service. Until now, Call of Duty games have only been available for purchase independently, meaning that they weren't part of any subscription service. And the most recent titles cost $70. Now, this potential decision to include games as part of Game Pass could end up being harmful to the company's finances during the time the industry as a whole seeing layoffs and closures. That seems to be copy and paste from the first paragraph. All the writing there. Call of Duty has a dedicated fan base that buys each new game when it's released, and a new game is released almost every year. This has made the franchise one of the most financially successful ever, generating over $38 billion in revenue since its beginning. Because of this, there's speculation that Microsoft will change Game Pass subscription tiers costs as though to bring Call of Duty to the service, knowing that it's looking at a potential drop in revenue. While the company is likely looking at ways to keep up loss in revenue, as plans end up resulting in drop in Game Pass subscription. Okay, did people or this is what I mean? This is why I always say I don't suffer from short term memory, because one of the reasons Phil even said earlier this year that they put those 4 games on their platforms was that they could either do stuff like raise prices or other financial decisions like that would not be popular, or or do what they're doing now, testing the waters, right? And I this is maybe they'll raise Game Pass prices, maybe, but there's no guarantee. It seems like Phil is trying to do everything in his power possible to not go the route of, okay, let's increase, let's jump on this bandwagon of increasing prices, right? Let's keep making Game Pass more expensive every 6 months, the way Netflix does. Where a few years ago Netflix was what, 15, 16, $17. Now I think it's 23, $24. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a lot of assumption on the impact of Call of Duty on Game Pass. And again, I don't think that it'll have the negative financial impact the writer is expecting. Because the thing about Game Pass, it's like there are a lot of people are still buying games off Game Pass, or they're putting their money to other games for the games that they are playing on Game Pass. Again, there's a lot of fluidity with how being a Game Pass subscriber works. There are a lot of people who've been like me. You played a game on Game Pass, loved it so much, and then bought it to own it. That's a common move as well there. Um, and then another thing is that, yeah, there are a lot of people who play Call of Duty, right, and only play Call of Duty and will most likely jump ship. That was one of the fears Sony had during the Activision, during the whole trials, right? Um, but there's still going to be people who are so loyal to PlayStation that the game's going to be the best selling game on PlayStation despite it being on Game Pass. I can almost guarantee that. So I think that I don't think it'll really affect them as much as the article's saying. Let's see. Since each Call of Duty campaign is generally short enough to complete within a month of playing, assuming that there's enough time to play it consistently for at least a few days, those who want to experience the campaign will likely only need to purchase a month subscription to Game Pass. That means that Microsoft could take a loss from this portion of fan base. However, multiplayer and online modes have more potential when it comes to keeping the subscription active, which could result in profit. Boom. And here's the thing. It's so lopsided on the amount of people who are playing multiplayer and online that I think that they'll be cool with. Okay, you subscribe to Game Pass and you play Call of Duty campaign only. Well, for all we know, they might put the whole slate of Call of Duty games on Game Pass, and they'll play the other campaigns, right? We're not exactly 100% sure how everything's gonna work, but Call of Duty on Game Pass is gonna be like Starfield on Game Pass and Halo on Game Pass and Forza. Like whenever those big games releases, they always see an uptick in subscribers, for example. Now let's get back to the chat here. I don't want to neglect that too much. Can't wait for CoD on Game Pass. Only play multiplayer, so it's never worth the full $70. That's another great point, Spy. If you only play one of the modes, you don't even want to pay $70 for the damn game. And let's not forget, as consumers, we gotta think with our head first. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm an Xbox fan, but don't think that I'm such a blind Xbox fan that I'm not consciously aware of I'm just throwing money at Xbox for the sake of it. You know what I'm saying? As consumers, we're all consciously aware of where our spending habits are, and so that's another great point. This would be good for the consumer. Of hey, you might only play the multiplayer, the campaign. You probably don't even think the $70 is worth it. Even though you love the game, to get the whole experience. Only worth for COD is zombies, and you see Devil Shooter here is a zombies fan with Call of Duty. One year Game Pass gives Microsoft $200 versus $70 for one purchase a game. Yeah, and not only that, it's been proven, and as they said multiple times, not only is Game Pass has been profitable, they've been saying forever that Game Pass subscribers buy and play more games than non-Game Pass subscribers. So it's not like a game's on Game Pass and then a lot of them are just ignoring everything else on the console, you know what I'm saying? To be honest, putting COD on Game Pass is going to boost subscription numbers, especially if old COD is going to be on it. Yeah, and I have a feeling, Faded Blaze, that's going to be the case, right? You're not only going to get Call of Duty 2024, you're going to get all the backwards compatible ones, all the Xbox One era ones, and all the current Call of Duties, right? Eventually on there, and so when it's going to be so COD heavy, and then another thing is that a lot of Call of Duty fans, they're also nostalgic for their favorite COD, whatever their favorite Call of Duty is. Some might like Modern Warfare the most, or Black Ops 1 or 2 the most. You know what I'm saying? And then having that easy access to it is going to bump those numbers up. And as they play the older CODs, whatever their favorite one was, they might be like, "Oh snap, I want to own it again," and you got another purchase. COD on Game Pass is guaranteed to sell consoles and boost numbers. Yeah, it's I mean, let's not forget during the 360 era where they had the Call of Duty marketing deals, right? How those would sell every year, and all it was a damn commercial saying Call of Duty maps first on 360 or some shit like that. Microsoft will get money from PlayStation, mobile, PC, COD players. Boom. Yeah, exactly. Radiance. So you get the subscriptions, and I believe Call of Duty's returning to Nintendo. So that's going to be another outlet that they'll get money from. Is Nintendo as well, assuming they'll buy it. Yeah, okay, for, spy here. 'Cause also, so Nintendo too. Yo, what's up, Kenneth? And oh, I forgot to shout out David Cohen. What's up, David Cohen and Kenneth Williams? The article is dumb. How are they going to make a different tiers when they already announced a family plan? Oh yeah, when does that family plan go out worldwide? Yeah, maybe that's going to be the next. Maybe the next tier is just a family plan, right? You pay a little extra 20 something a month for the family plan. I forgot about that, man. That's a great point there, Faded Blaze. People still buy games on Game Pass because if you have subscription, you get discount on deals. Yeah, man. Some of them discounts be pretty incredible too. That's how I bought a High on Life. High on Life with the DLC was like $15 through Game Pass. And but if you bought it, if you bought it without Game Pass, it was only like 10% off. It was a crazy deal because I was a little confused when I bought it. I'm like, hold on, this is the full game, right? I'm not just getting the DLC. It's like, no, that's the full game in DLC. So yeah, man, them Game Pass deals be great. Game Pass is great because backwards compatibility plus having the server still up for legacy game. Excellent point there, Kenneth Williams. And that's going to be the same case with Call of Duty. And I remember fairly recently that happened with Gears, right? Gears of War, the 360 Gears games had a bump and player base. I forgot why. But it had a bump in player base when people realized that the servers were still up, but they could play it on Game Pass on their Xboxes and stuff. But back to the article. Though it's not confirmed, it wouldn't be a surprise if Microsoft changed the tier prices. Xbox subscription, Game Pass subscription, in an effort to offset the potential losses in revenue. That can come from putting its biggest resources on one platform. What's funny is that Xbox has bought Bethesda, a bunch of studios, and they only had like one price increase that was like what, $1, $2 at most. I don't think I don't think that's going to happen to that extent. And if it does, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. Oh, don't get me wrong. If there's ever an increase, the media is going to blow it out of proportion. YouTubers are going to pretend to cancel Game Pass, but overall, it's not going to be that big of a deal. If people have been fine paying for Netflix and all these other subscription servers after their price increase, gamers are going to be fine paying a little extra for Game Pass if worse comes to shove. And that's just assuming it. A lot of this stuff is always assumption. We don't know their plan. We don't know Xbox plans until they finally do something. New prices for Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, Microsoft Studio closures also wouldn't be a surprise, so the company could use both of these reasons to justify an increase in prices, especially with the added value that Game Pass will have Call of Duty. Writers need to learn how to condense themselves, and editors need to point out when they're repeating themselves. Because I swear, this is the same paragraph. He just repeat themselves in the same paragraph. With studio closures and fewer exclusives, Xbox Game Pass isn't that bargain that it used to be. What a weird statement. Yeah, the studio closures, yeah, they suck, but they were integrated into ZeniMax. But the fewer exclusives is just not true. I mean, this again, short-term memory. Games like South of Midnight, Perfect Dark, State of K3, Contraband, these games are still coming. It's not like the two studios that were closed down, and they can't there's literally been no announcement of canceled games like Sony had with canceled games earlier this year. So I think that's an incorrect statement. Additionally, some Xbox exclusives in recent years has failed, such as Redfall. Other than Redfall, they haven't really failed. And even with Tango Gamesworks, the head of that studio left. I don't think it was a Hi-Fi Rush issue. I think it was a lack of talent issue. And Zenny, and like matter of fact, like the Bloomberg report said, ZeniMax will run themselves then. Blame. I don't think Hi-Fi Rush was to blame for that, for any of that. Xbox doesn't look like it's in a good place right now. I find it funny that everybody keeps harping on that. But Sony literally had a studio closure, and nobody feels that way about them. As such, Microsoft might be looking at Call of Duty as a way to boost Game Pass revenue, which has barely grown in the last 2 years, according to Games Radar, and increase subscription, the way that Starfield resulted in new milestones for subscription. Geez, it's funny. You pointed out a really good point here. The increase in subscriptions, the way Starfield did. Yeah, it's almost like the big games, the big selling point games, is what's going to push is what always pushes the is what pushes the needle. And this is a gaming problem. You know what I'm saying? Hi-Fi Rush, brilliant game, is not going to push people to the subscription. I know it sucks to hear because we all love the game, but it's an unfortunate reality, right? But Starfield did, and Starfield is also a brilliant game, but still, Starfield is one of them games that push Call of Duty. And then especially if Microsoft puts all the Call of Duties, you know what I'm saying, however they're going to do it with Call of Duty 2024, yeah, that's gonna push it the way that's gonna push it more than Starfield did. More than Halo did in 2021, and Forza Horizon 5 did in 2021 when that game had over 1 million players before it was released, and that was the paid version of the game. So I think that part is more important. Whenever Xbox has a big marketable game, that's where they see the bump, right? And now they're reaching a point where they can release three. They have good 3-4 big games a year. This year it's Hellblade, Avowed, and Indiana Jones. And of all those, it's pretty clear Indiana Jones is going to be the big Game Pass bump, right? That was going to give them the biggest Game Pass bump. Let's see. Right now, the basic plans for Xbox and PC Game Pass are $10 a month. Game Pass console version costing $10.99. However, Ultimate, which includes the ability to play Xbox Online, important for Game Pass, costs $17 a month. Now, hold on. I believe with Xbox, this is. I think this might be slightly incorrect because I think right now it's Game Pass Core, PC for Game Pass, and Ultimate. I believe those are the three tiers. And with Core, you can still play online, which will be important for Game Pass. I think that's how it is. These prices are on par with streaming service, but the library games included in Game Pass is quite large, and it seems to be helping Microsoft continue to increase its revenue. How are you going to admit that? How you going to admit Game Pass is making Microsoft money while being concerned putting the biggest game is going to hurt them financially? Oh man. Millions of gamers are still on last gen, and this COD will be the first to be current gen only. It's a great opportunity to get people to buy Xbox. Wow, what a great point! A matter of fact, I believe last week Sony specifically were saying how, or maybe it was, I don't know if it was Sony specifically or a report or something that said that was saying half of their users are still on PlayStation 4. That's a great point. There are a lot of people who haven't felt the need to upgrade to these current gen consoles, as great as they are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so something like Call of Duty only being available on this year on a PS5 and Series X and S. That should also help. And then when it's day one on Game Pass and only available on the current consoles, yeah, that should do really good for Xbox. Great point there, Radiance. Xbox has over 30 studios and second party deals. This article is disingenuous. Yeah, that's what makes it so funny to me. That's what makes it so funny to me is that this weird concern on how it's a bad idea. Yet Xbox is leveraged so far with studios and games that no, it's just because two studios unfortunately went under. One, you can still play Redfall and Hi-Fi Rush. Let's not forget that. And two, there's still plenty of more games to come. We don't know we don't even know if this is all that they got going this year, because we got the June showcase in about 2 weeks, 2 3 weeks, right? It's not that big of a deal when you look at the big picture. These morons will look even more stupid next month. Yeah, exactly. Next month when all these games are coming, the Game Pass and day one Xbox, it's gonna make them look goofy. And again, it gets up. Looking at the upcoming release for Xbox in 2024 paints a promising picture. Yeah, it's almost like again, the human aspect. We all know it sucks that people lost their jobs, but the world keeps turning. Xbox is gonna keep doing their thing. In 2024, Xbox and Microsoft are looking at boosts from big games, such as expansions for Diablo 4 and World of Warcraft, as well as Call of Duty for this holiday season. Additionally, there are some highly anticipated Xbox exclusives releasing, such as Hellblade 2, which just released today. While closing so many studios can be alarming, the games being released in 2024 shows a lot of promise for profit. Yeah, and that's why I think constantly bringing up the studio closures is a bit disingenuous. It's also a good sign Microsoft is shifting how many studios it has operating at one time, allowing the company to invest in fewer games but provide the resources needed to make those games impactful. It seems like Xbox and Microsoft are going for a high risk, high reward approach with Game Pass by putting one of the company's most profitable games on subscription service. I disagree with that. If anything, high risk would be not putting your biggest, you literally your biggest title on on Game Pass. Hey, what's up, Sega man? You know, this is just like the moment they got Activision, everybody knew Call of Duty was eventually coming to the service. So yeah, and the last thing I do want to talk about before I call it night. Yes, but overall, that's Xbox. This Xbox making a huge mistake putting Call of Duty on Game Pass, and it's funny. The writer even kind of debunks themselves with this article. What a weird one, weird one. And when this in about 2 3 weeks, might be 3 weeks. Let me see, June. Okay, about 2.5 weeks. In about 2.5 weeks, on June 9th, I think it's June 9th. Yeah, on June 9th, when Microsoft comes out and they show the latest Call of Duty, and at the end is day one on Game Pass, people gonna lose their minds, subscriptions gonna jump. Hell, if I'm Xbox, I'm even saying, hey, today you could play older Call of Duties right now on Game Pass, live now, and as soon as the press conference ends. That's how far I'd go with it. All right, man. All right. Last thing to talk about before I call tonight, and thank you, God chat, for you know entertaining this conversation tonight. PlayStation London Studio has closed after 20 years, and when this is literally coming just a few weeks after Xbox closing their studios, I find it weird that I can't find any PlayStation is dead articles or YouTube videos. I can't find any doom and gloom about it. Like Sony's release this year is terrible, right? Absolutely terrible, and nothing, nothing, man. There's no, there's no, there's I just find it weird. I always find it weird how the energy is not, and it's funny because I'm used to this. I'm used to the energy not being the same. I just find it so funny how, and the reason why I like pointing this out is because of this. When Xbox did it a few weeks ago, everybody pretended to care so much about the devs. They pretend to care so much about the workers. They all of a sudden became the biggest compassionate of workers' rights, right? And yet, when this is right in front of them, the exact same people have literally nothing to say. They have no energy. They have no compassion. They have no care. They don't bring up a single word. They don't put up a pity party post. Nothing. They're silent. They're absolutely silent. And so I always point this out because to me, if your standards only apply when Microsoft does it, then you don't actually care. Then to me, your agenda is not to be pro people losing their jobs, which sucks. Your agenda is to stick it to Microsoft because you don't like them. It's the same reason why Hellblade 2 could review worse than Hellblade 1, despite being the better game, more polished game. But because it's on Xbox, all of a sudden you can't deal with the voices and sinuous head, and you can't deal with the slow walking. Some that I've criticized before, you know. And unlike y'all, I'm not I don't excuse me, I don't change my tune on something I don't like in the game. But just because, you know what I'm saying? But no, but yet, this comes out today or maybe yesterday. PlayStation London Studios has closed after 20 years, and I didn't see IGN put an article of how PlayStation London Studio might be gone, but their soul still lasts forever, like they did with Arcade Austin and all this nonsense. 20 years, and they're gone, and nobody gives a shit. And the same people that who are making videos right now about how Xbox is run by idiots and Xbox is a failure and Xbox is this and that. Um, hey, where's is Sony not a failure for this? No, this is just fine. This is just business. This is just the gaming being in a slump. All right, all right. If that's what you guys think, man. No articles writing about PlayStation being dead. Yeah, exactly, Radiant. It's not a single one. And so this also tells me that they know they're being hyper, they're hyper focusing on Xbox negativity. Uh, and again, these people didn't even like Redfall. All right, they all consider Redfall a fucking failure, and yet and yet nothing. They love PlayStation, but yet nothing. Shouldn't this upset them? A studio after 20 years being closed down from their favorite brand, and stuff like this. There might be people out there who's watching like, oh man, you must not care. No, it's just that I'm not going to sit here and call the death of Xbox when they had to make a business decision, and Sony makes a business decision, right? And everybody, all of a sudden, everybody could be rational about it, or they don't talk about it, or they keep their mouths closed, or they focus even more on Xbox to shove to make sure this type of news pass because they need the narrative of PlayStation is good when PlayStation has been awful like especially this generation. I don't care what anybody says. The PlayStation 5 is the worst PlayStation ever. All right. The PlayStation 3 may have sucked, had the worst controller I ever used, but at least they turned it around at the end. Sony's not turning around the PlayStation 5. All they got are more fucking remasters or remakes or sequels to shit you already played. You know what I'm saying? And that y'all aren't buying. And I know that y'all aren't buying because all the exclusives that came out this year, the third party games were fucking failures. To where Square Enix now wants to put their game on Xbox. And yeah, Zinc man, Redfall was a great game. And by the way, shout out to Arcane. They did say that they're going to do one more update, and I'm so glad that they didn't forget to do the offline mode, um, because that was one thing that I was waiting for to come was that offline mode. Because it's just that for a game like that, I didn't think it needed to be always online. I could be wrong. And I'm curious on if there are going to be any type of changes when you have the offline mode. I doubt it, but yeah, Redfall. I'm that's going to be one of them games I'll jump into a handful of times, right? Yeah, and with that, I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you everybody for joining me on this impromptu edition of the Limited Truth. I just wanted to talk some video game stuff real quick. I want to talk about Hellblade 2, which is Flowing Gamers, which had the combat when you get to it, it's very fun. Has a lot of weight to it. The visuals are beyond stunning, and I've never seen a game where I couldn't tell the difference between cutscene and gameplay. Right, there are no button prompts. Right, which I'm surprised games don't do that more. Right, the lack of button prompts. But man, what a game! What a game! Another great game in the Xbox lineup. It kind of annoys me with Hellblade 2 how people talk about the mental health aspects of the story when there's so much more to the story. Senua fighting against her enslavers, etc. Yeah, yeah. Well, everybody got everybody got that grade school comprehension when it comes to this stuff. They're not true analysis spy where they could break down a game like that, and so they only focus on the win aspect. Because the voices are intense. Might even be more intense than the first game. The voices in their head, like they be going off, man. And now what's cool is that if you pay attention to the voices, that's actually guiding you. That's actually guiding you in the game. And I don't know if people picked up on that. I don't know if a lot of gamers are picking up on that. At how the voices guide you because of But yeah, another great game in the Xbox lineup. The first of many to come this year. We still got Avowed. We still, I think, Tireborn comes out this year. Indiana Jones, we know, is coming out. Apparently, Indiana Jones is coming out this December. Which, I mean, dang, so stacked that they're releasing a game after the Black Friday rush. Wow. Yeah. So Xbox still gonna be wonderful, guys. Um. Yeah. I don't think I'll. Hopefully, there's no more big news this week. Because I don't know if I'll have time to really talk about it. I mean, right now it's 11 o'clock here. 11:15 here. So that kind of shows you how busy and how late I got to even this to do this show. But you guys have a great rest of your week. You guys keep it gaming, keep enjoying it. Keep enjoying Hellblade or whatever other games you guys are playing. Don't get too wrapped up in the negativity. Don't get too wrapped up in the review scores. Understand if you're going to be an Xbox gamer, this is just par for the course, right? And and after 11 years, all I can really tell you is that you just get used to it because it's not going to change. And in today's landscape of clickbait and outrage content and stuff like that, it's clear that every outlet sees more value and getting you emotionally riled up than to being factually correct, which is unfortunate. But and it's unfortunate that's the landscape we're in now. But you know, eventually, I think game Xbox gamers and gaming is gonna win out, and they're gonna go the way of the dodo. All right, guys. So you have a great night. Thank you, chat. Zinc Spy, Sega Man. I saw guys like Devil Shooter, Kenneth Williams, Faded Blaze, David Cohen, D Play, who literally beat the damn game. Silva 28, 128. And if I Toolman stopped in, the Rilla stopped in. And if I'm forgetting anybody else, I apologize. But you have a great night, and I'm out.